All right, we got some Monday Night Football action here between the Seattle Seahawks hosting the Detroit Lions. And Seahawks here are a pretty big favorite, as they probably should be. But my play here is I'm going to back over the total here. I think this total is just a little bit too low. There are some aspects about Seattle that you can attack, and that's going to be through the air. And I'm going to talk about that in a little bit. I don't expect Detroit to win this game at all, but I do expect them to score just a little bit, just enough to go ahead and allow Seattle to score what I think is going to be quite a few points to get us over this total. Let's start breaking this game down. Okay, odds makers came out with a total of 43. When you break down the stats, it makes sense considering how poor Detroit has been on the offensive end and how good Seattle's been on the defensive end, and for the roundabout aspect and overall total defense. But they do have some gaps in there that I think Detroit can exploit to get a few, to get, I don't want to say a few touchdowns, but maybe get a couple touchdowns. Maybe 3 touchdowns. I don't know. That's going to be a tough task, but I think they're going to be able to score, put up some points here against Seattle, who's always really, really tough at home. Let's talk more about these teams offensively and defensively. Detroit, they come into this game offensively not doing great this year. They're averaging 18.7 points per game, 305 yards per game, and a third down 37.14% conversion rate. Those are some of the worst in the league. Matt Stafford, I think he's a good quarterback. They're not a good team. I don't know the direction this franchise is headed, but it hasn't been a good one in a long time. So I'm hoping they hang in there with the Seahawks to make this a more entertaining Monday night game. Defensively, Detroit also not great. They're allowing 27.7 points per game, 395.7 yards per game, and a third down 45.95% conversion rate. But we got some good aspects here as far as taking over the total. Seattle, very, very good offense for the most part. I don't think they've really clicked so far, but I think Russell Wilson's going to have a heck of a day because Detroit is one of the worst teams, like one of the bottom 3 in opponent completion percentage, well over 75% per game. And Russell Wilson completes about 70% of his passes. So I look for him to pick apart that Detroit defense. I think they're going to move the ball a lot, get some play action in there as well. They're going to be able to run the ball. They're going to be able to pass the ball, especially pass the ball. I think they're going to throw the ball a lot, even though primarily they're probably, you could argue that they're more of a running team as far as NFL standards. But I think Wilson's going to put it up tonight. I think they're going to air it out. Seahawks, let's talk more about them. Offensively, they come in. They're averaging 24.7 points per game, 346 yards per game, third down conversion rate 36%. And they're doing okay. They're moving the ball. They're putting up some points. They're not turning over the ball a lot. So I look for them to go ahead and really get some quality third down conversions, keep moving the chains, get in field goal range, get in the red zone quite a bit. I think that's going to happen tonight. I think they're going to put up a lot of points, as I've already mentioned. Defensively, Seahawks still one of the best in the league. They've allowed 20.3 points per game, 286.3 yards per game, and a third down conversion rate 37.14%. That yards per game, that's in the top 5 of the NFL. So they're really, really solid. If you are going to get to them, it's got to be through the air, where they rank towards the bottom half of the league in opponents' completion percentage and opponents' yards per pass. So 2 of the lesser categories. Also, shockingly enough, Seattle doesn't have an interception this year. Probably going to change tonight now that I've said that. But I think Stafford's going to have some opportunity, get some open space there with some decent Lions receivers. I don't know. They're really going to have to play super well to put up some points against Seattle in Seattle. But I think they will. I think Monday night they're going to be excited. They've started off really slow. This is a time for them to redeem themselves. I doubt they'll beat Seattle in Seattle because not many teams do that. But I think they're going to play well tonight, better than people expect, to help us get over this total. Ultimately, Seattle's going to probably put the hammer on them. But I believe they're going to score a lot of points in doing so. So I like over the total here. I know it's a low total, and it makes some sense statistically, but when we start picking our spots, I think we're going to see more points than people anticipate. It's giving me my NFL play of the day over the total here, and I wish you luck on your plays of the day.